Ravi Rajan has investment in short duration corporate bond and banking and PSU funds, and he wants to know if these investments have become riskier due to the new additional Tier 1 rules proposed by SEBI.
Sure. So firstly, I'd like to point out that the additional Tier 1 bonds or AT1 bonds, as they are popularly known, are a riskier variety of bonds, and the new SEBI rules has got nothing to do with it. That's because first of all, these bonds do not come with any set maturity date, and the issuer can choose not to redeem them at all. That's number one. Second is that these bonds have a weaker claim on the assets of the issuer. So in case the issuer undergoes any financial troubles, then these bonds can be completely written off. In fact, that's what happened in case of the AT1 bonds of Yes Bank last year. So clearly these are some of the inherent features or attributes of these bonds which make them riskier. Now coming to the SEBI provisions, the recent revised regulation that SEBI came out with, because of which there has been a lot of noise in the markets. So one is that SEBI mandated that because of these inherent risks in AT1 bonds, it put an upper limit on how much mutual funds can invest in those bonds, and that is a good development from a risk standpoint, because it will ensure that fund managers do not go overboard on these bonds in pursuit of higher returns. But secondly, and more controversially, SEBI mandated that to calculate the value of these bonds, for the purpose of valuation of these bonds, fund companies should assume the maturity of these bonds to be 100 years. Now, without getting into the technical details around it, this particular provision would have almost certainly caused a drop in the value of these bonds, and on an ongoing basis also made them more volatile, and that is where the apprehensions of the fund companies and broadly the markets lie. Now there can be arguments made for or against this valuation norm, but they may not matter from here on as such, because the finance ministry has written to SEBI asking it to withdraw these valuation norms. So while more clarity from SEBI is awaited, but it is very likely that this valuation norm might be dropped altogether or maybe substantially toned down. So that is where we stand currently. The upper caps that have been put on investing in these bonds would only make the bond funds safer. But the valuation norms, which could have potentially made these funds or these bonds more volatile, they might be dropped altogether or maybe substantially toned down.